Hi, hello, we're back. And crazy enough, after talking about Scotty and Natalie, we're here to talk about Jela. And before we get to Jela, I want to say this real quick. Y'all have been going off on my last video in regards to Natalie and Scotty, and I want to say I see each and every one of y'all. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the baddie bunch. Shout out to my new followers. Y'all are lit. I love the fact that that post became like a whole fireside chat for all of the girlies and guys, shout out to y'all too, that was watching baddies. I want to keep that up. Let's keep it going. I'm here every Sunday. If it's not Sunday, it'll be Monday morning because I'll be watching baddies, y'all. Let's keep these baddies discussions and thoughts going. I also want to say I'm not strictly a baddies thing. I'm just talking a lot about baddies as of recent because that has been popping off crazy. But when other stuff comes up in the news and stuff like that, I'll talk about it. But let's get into the video. We're talking about Jela today because crazy enough, I open my phone, she's on the blogs. So Jela posted a photo of herself looking as gorgeous as she is. Jela has always been a baddie to me, even when she was on Bad Girls Club. I said this girl carries herself to a standard where she look good all the time. Ain't nothing. Even with no makeup on, this girl's a baddie. She's gorgeous. And I was saying, the blue that she was rocking on Sunday, eats, yeah. But of course, when you're beautiful like that, there's going to be one hater to some aspect. So I guess the caption has said something like, shout out to my team or whatever the case is. And this man, I guess his name is Demonde or Demani, whatever his goddamn name is. He said, my team usually means IG makeup girl and a nigga from ATL who say they a stylist. Which what provoked him to say that? Don't know. But he said it. So Jela, quote, retweeted it and said, F slur and fatherless behavior. Hating on women unprovoked is nasty work. I said what I said. And then she followed up and said, niggas like him hate themselves, so now they spew hate onto others. It's F slur and fatherless behavior. I'm not apologizing either. Fuck him. To which, when she said that, everybody in the comments was like, yo, Jela, you should not be saying no F slurs. You should not be doing that. You looking a little bit hypocritical. You're being very homophobic. This is not the first time. They was getting on her bad. And so let me just try to move out the way. So I'm not going to read every aspect of this. This is a very long response. But in summary, she was saying she's not homophobic, that everybody who's mad got double standards, that she's now with a gay man attacking her verbally, and then she's supposed to not defend herself. The energy you give her is the energy that she's going to give it back. So she feels like it's crazy that y'all are expecting her to have a certain standard when it comes to defending herself. So y'all could pause it and read it. Y'all could do that. Look at my hand. Hey. And I feel like I might be giving an unpopular opinion, but you know what? My last post, I'm learning a lot of y'all are not Team Jela. But that's neither here or there. Here's where my unpopular opinion comes in. And please try to hear me out before y'all jump in the comments or say something ridiculously egregious. I'm not here to say the gay community and the black community have the same plight or whatever the case is. I'm not here to play who had it worse Olympics either. That's not the foundation of where I'm looking at Jela a little hypocritical as. That's not the foundation of it. It has nothing to do with what community had worse or who had it worse. I'm giving Jela a little bit of the side eye because it's not maintaining the same respect standard across the board. Now, me as a black woman, I am so with the if your ass ain't black, you can't say nigga. I don't give a fuck. Hispanic, white, Indian, I don't get Asian. I don't care. If you're not black, don't say the N-word because of its origins. And this is my community that you're using this nasty word for, right? You're not a part of the community. You will never understand. Don't say the slur. I'm with that. But also, as a black woman who is an ally of the LGBTQIA+, in no way, shape, or form you will ever find me or hear me saying any levels of an F slur in regards to the gay community. You know why? Because the same standard that I have for everybody else that's not black to respect my community, I'm going to hold the same level of standard for a community that I'm not a part of. Once again, this is not about who has a bad Olympics. This is not about, well, they could do this and I could do. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about an even playing field for respect. And before anybody asks, because I know y'all saw this, I have a freaking ganglion cyst here. I already had surgery for it and it came back. So don't look at my little wrist nipple. But I'm just saying, if we're going to have the same standards or if we're going to hold a certain standard, let's make sure we have it across the board. And with Jela, I feel like she can be wish-washy as far as maintaining a certain standard. Like, I know we look at Jela as like this high standard woman or high class woman, but there's been plenty of times that like I've seen her like on baddies or whatever the case is, and I'm like, you're being a little bit of a hypocrite, Jela. Like, in this instance, I think she's being a hypocrite because she's choosing not to understand why the gay community has an issue with her. I'm fine with the whole, well, a man shouldn't be attacking a woman, da, da, da. I'm fine with all that, but at the end of the day, you're not a part of the gay community from what I know. Keyword here, from what I know. So I would think you should respect their community the same way you expect everybody else to respect the black community because you're a part of it. So let's have the same standards for respect. Another instance where I feel like she be a little bit hypocritical, she spent all Baddies Caribbean beefing with Gretchen, to which I'm not saying is a bad thing. I'm all for y'all whooping anybody ass that's not black saying the N-word. I don't care. However, during the reunion, when it came out that Mariah was dropping N-bombs several times over because she was mad at a guy, Jela found every excuse in the book not to slap the fuck out of Mariah. Which let me know, if you're Jela's friend, she's not going to check you about nothing. Like, she's going to let it slide. But if you're not her friend, she's going to go balls to the walls because she doesn't have any respect for you or she don't care about you. You're a stranger to her. So which, sure, but again, it's about having the same standard across the board with friends or not. And if anything, I felt like Jela should have been even more upset and wanted to pop on Mariah because, like, you're on a cast of black women. You was on Love and Hip Hop dropping N-words all the fucking time. You sit here and you say you don't say the N-word, but we just watched you in 4K talking about some nigga this, you a nigga this, da da da. And then I would have doubly been pissed because I don't know if y'all remember, but when Jela first started talking about it, saying, yeah, Mariah, I saw you in a truck arguing with a black man. And Mariah said, yeah, it was a Bentley. That white privilege is showing because don't deflect. Who cares if it was a Bentley? You was in a fucking car, but you was hanging out that car saying the N-word when you shouldn't have been. To which now that makes me think you say the N-word on a regular basis. Jela didn't hold the same standards. And then Baddie Midwest. And then even down to her friendship with Natalie. She is fine and she is complicit with watching Natalie dog walk a lot of these bitches on the show. To which I told y'all in my last video, I don't ever think Natalie is not a villain. I just think in a situation with Scotty, I understand where she's getting angry from. But Natalie been a villain. That's what her money is. Being the villain on every goddamn show, okay? But Jela is complicit with that. She finds it funny. We've seen the clips of her laughing with Natalie as Natalie's talking about how she was doing XYZ to the girls and how she thinks they're stupid bitches and all this other shit. But the second that Natalie started flipping on fucking Jela and she wasn't there to like back Jela up when the big three was popping on Jela, now it's, Natalie, oh my God, I might have to sock her or whatever the case is. Now it's, I don't like Natalie. Or she's in the confessionals being upset and crying because I'd never expected Natalie to do that to me. But it's like, you watched her be like this for the longest, especially out of everybody on the Baddies cast. So like, what do you mean you ain't think she was gonna do this to you? You watched her do this to every fucking girl that you thought was her fucking friend. Why'd you think that you was exempt from it? She just don't be holding the same standards. Or she's a hypocrite. And granted, the bottom line is I do like Jela. I don't necessarily have an issue with Jela. I do like her, but there are periods where she is being an absolute hypocrite. Or she's being phony. A lot of y'all in the comments, not me, but y'all in the comments in the last video was saying, yeah, y'all even think Jela being a little weird and a little fake right now with Scotty. Because in what world are they being fucking friends? To which my response to that is I think they're trauma bonding over Natalie. All stemming from whatever fucking Midwest, East, whatever compass location they was at. There's too many baddies locations that they've been at. I've been getting them confused, okay? But they trauma bonded over the fact that Natalie wasn't being a good friend to them. And then they both was acting like, oh my God, I'm so surprised. Don't know why. But Jela too has her moments where she's not all the way innocent. I don't think she's the most problematic out of all of the girls there. Actually, I think Jela's one of the least problematic girls on the show. But she can be a hypocrite. And I think if she wasn't looking at this from a surface level, she would understand what the community is saying. I know a lot of y'all might not agree, or a lot of y'all will agree, but it's just holding the standard of just having respect across the board. Tell me what you think in the comments. Don't eat me up if you don't agree. I don't hate Jela. I have nothing, necessarily just bad to say about Jela, but I need her to chill out a little bit. But like I said, tell me your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about Jela? Do you think she could be a hypocrite? Do you like Jela or not? Let me know.